Welcome back. In this video, we will be talking about how we're going to get this this kind of glass door made, but then also, more importantly, how we're going to cut into the frame to make the cooler itself. So before we do that, we need to actually consider what will be seen in the final, when this is all said and done. What will we actually see? So if you think about it, we won't be seeing anything that's underneath this door, right? And we know that we need to cut into this cooler overall. So what we're going to do here, we're going to start off by selecting this polygon here. We're going to first off connect. So let's just isolate this real quickly. Okay, and we'll turn on my wireframe with F4. So we want to start off by connecting these two polygons going up and down. Or these edges going up and down. We know the cooler is going to be roughly about maybe that large. If you want to make sure that, we just want to make sure that, as you can see here, the door itself will be covering that where our section, where our slice is going. So we see it is. We can confirm that. Now we see make one more slice, and so we can use a swift loop. Let's go and just make sure. See it right about there. Seems fine. I'm going to put one more down here, just for good measure. So now I can hide this door. And just like that, we have our opening for this cooler that's going inside. So now what we need to do is, the next step will be to start to create this window here. So I think the window is going to be very similar to this door, especially in shape. So what I want to do is actually want to borrow this kind of shape here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this door base. I'm going to clone it. We'll call it door window HP for high poly, and make it a copy. Make sure you make it a copy, because if you make an instance, then it'll start to change anything you make. So I want actually before I do that, I'm going to put the effect or pivot. I'm going to put the pivot to mill. So now if I just bring that out a little bit, and if we were to change the color so we can tell the difference between the two, I'm going to start off by grabbing the vertex. I just want to grab all these down here, move them up. Okay. And now look at it, this will match same shape. So what we may actually want to do is we might want to we're going to want to do a symmetry. We want the symmetry to be on the z-axis. Now if you see this little triangle, drop it to the mirror, and we want to bring that up to say maybe about that. And so what we're doing is we're just creating this window. So it has to be a little bit larger than that even. So I'm thinking something more like this. Seems about right. Okay, so I'm going to actually convert that to poly. I'm going to scale this down just a hair. I think I can scale it down a bit more. So maybe something like this could be pretty good. And for right now I don't need this, so I'm just going to remove that one. Okay. And now if we were to go to our reference, we can see roughly how large we want this to be. I think if you go back a little bit more, We can actually make it a little more flat. Yeah, I think something like this should be fine. We want to go up a little bit more. Yep, just like that. And then we'll select all these polygons. I'm going to bring it down to about there. So I'm going to have my reference again. Okay. So next, I want to create this window. So that's a pretty straightforward process. I'm just going to select this here, and I'm going to inset this. Make sure you inset it, something that you find appropriate, which I think this looks pretty good. And what I can do next, I'm going to isolate this real quick. And so you won't ever actually see the inside here, so I'm going to delete that. That's something that we'll never actually be seeing. Okay. And now I want to extrude this. Let's go ahead and extrude it in. And we want to actually snap that to probably the back of, so probably something right there. Okay. And now we can delete this face here. Because we won't ever be seeing the back here. Now next I want to select all of these edges here. I'm going to soften this up quite a bit to nearly match the outside portion. Okay. And I'm going to go to my quad chamfer with a 0.5 tension. And so I might want to bump that up a little bit. And keep in mind, polygon here is not nearly as important since we will be baking these later on into our final asset. So if your polygon count is high, it's not going to break the model. Okay. So now if I were to exit isolation mode, as you see here, we have our window frame, and now we just need to cut out the window itself and this door. So there are a few ways we can do this. I think the easiest way we can do this is just the same process we used earlier. So I'm going to go to my door base. I'm going to select all these and I'm going to hit connect 2 times. And I'm just going to line these up. So if I were to go to my straight on view, I can now see that this needs to be about here. Oops. Oh, not the wrong thing. Right there. So I see that needs to be there. Should be just inside or out there. And then I'm going to add my Swift loops. Actually, I'm going to again drag across this whole middle, hit connect, and it should automatically do 2 of them. And I'm going to move this right there. This one move to here, so just inside there. And now I can delete this middle polygon as you see. So now we have this this window created. In fact, we could also, we do need to create the window. As you can see, there's kind of this glass in front of it that is, it looks like it's a little bit, scuffed up and beaten up. So, we do need to create that as well. So later on we can apply opacity to it and texture it. And that's a pretty simple. So if I were to go to the door window, I'm going to go to my select, and now I'm going to hit cap, and I want to select the polygon, and I want to inset just a little bit. Okay, so something like that. And now what I can do is, holding my control border, I can now collapse all these right to the middle. So there, now I have, and then I'm actually going to go to vertex, select the middle vertex, hold control, hold shift. Alright. So hold control and then hit your, go to your polygon mode, and then we want to just select this whole window and we're going to hit detach. What's called glass. You can call it HP if you want. Okay, so now we have our glass, which we can toggle on and off. We have our window, our door, and then it's all cut through. So in the next one, we'll actually create the cooler itself. So what we'll do is we'll probably use this. Maybe we'll use some of this pre-existing mesh to kind of as our guideline to push back into the cooler. So that'll be done in the next video. The cooler, the shelf, and then probably we'll just go ahead and do the light while we're inside there too.